Warning, this content contains foul language, violence, and gore. Enjoy the story. Hey guys, this is Ravenclaw What If. Welcome back to another What If story. This is a redo of part 0 of What If Female Deku was Starfire. As we start our What If, as Tamaranean is having a civil war, as Starfire's older sister has started a coup, as the lower civilians have joined forces with Blackfire, not out of aberration. Blackfire has manipulated the lower class of Tamaranean, and she started a civil war. Blackfire lived her whole life, people looking down at her because she doesn't have flight as a natural ability that Tamarans have. She was supposed to be the heir of the throne, but instead of her mother choosing her, she chose her younger daughter, Starfire. Because of the Civil War, the planet has become very unstable. As Starfire's mother, the Queen of Tamaran, basically, put Starfire in an escape pod or a small ship to save her daughter from the fate of of her people. As she the last word her mother gave to Starfire is to survive. As the the pod flies into space, as eventually some sort of alien ship did claim the ship as they experimented on Starfire. Because of the years of being experimented on, her abilities increase in a insane amount increase insanely. As she finally made her plan to escape, as she blasts star bolts at insane people that was trying to experiment on her. As she, vaporized them, everyone on the ship. As she went back to her escape pod or escape ship, whatever her mother placed her in. As she immediately fly off, as the ship behind her explodes from the core being unstable. As she's been a long time in space, Starfire has finally entered the Milky Way. As we cut to UA, as Nezu is sighing, as Mirko, you destroyed another block. It's not my fault, Nezu. The villain was being very difficult. No one died. This, collateral damage. I don't see the big deal. Exactly, Mirko. You destroyed a whole block. I'm having the hero organization down my throat. I'm left with no choice. You're immediately, starting today, taking a mandatory vacation. You can't be serious, Nezu. Me take a vacation? That's not... You don't have a say in the matter, Mirko. It's either that or I'll be forced to suspend your hero license. Damn it. Fine, Nezu. I'll take a mandatory vacation. Good. Here you go. Let's Nezu flops the ticket on... What's this? It's a ticket to Island. You need to have a relaxing. You've been working non-stop since you graduated UA. Nezu, that was like 4 or 5 years ago. Exactly. You're doing your hair work non-stop. You haven't even taken a day off. Trust me, you need it. Relax. Fine, Nezu. As she grabs the ticket, as she slams the door. Ah, she's so goddamn difficult. No matter. At least she's out of the way for a little bit, so I can have some peace in mind, not having the hero organizations yelling at me constantly. Ko was never this difficult when she was in UA. As you know, Nezu sighs as Mirko is forced to go on a mandatory vacation. She doesn't really have a matter, and she doesn't really have a say in the matter. As she boards the plane, as it goes to Island, it takes about a couple hours as she finally lands. As she checks in the hotel, as she spends so far she's well with time skip basically a little time skip, not by much, as it's been a few days as she's actually starting to relax and enjoying his mandatory vacation. One night, Mirko is just walking on the beach, just enjoying the peace and quiet. As immediately she saw a shooting star in the sky. It's heading towards the island in a very fast motion. As instead of going across the sky, it seems like the star is coming towards the island itself. As there is a loud crash noise in the middle of Island. At the same time, when Starfire's spacecraft crashed on Island, as a villain is trying to get some technology from David's shield, as he took Melissa's shield hostage, as he's pointing the gun at several people. Know what you're working on, David. Give us the technology, or your little precious little girl dies. Everyone heard a loud crash. Men, check what's going on outside. If anyone resists, kill them. As several island security drones are all over the place at Island as they're heading towards the crash. Well, the crash zone where Starfire has landed. As Mirko gets to the crash site, as she sees the villains. What the hell is this? Tell the boss. As immediately, there's a bright green energy coming from the hatch. As the hatch blows open, as Starfire flies out of the spacecraft, as she's hovering above the ground. As the villains immediately attack, as Starfire immediately start throwing barrage of star bolts at the villains as they go flying into buildings. As Starfire immediately attacking everyone she sees. As she's considered these people or whatever those things are as a threat. Sorry, guys. Discord is being popping up for some reason. Give me a second here, guys. As America sees a girl about by the look of her, she believes she's around 14, 13 years old. As several villains start to rush at her, as Starfire grabs one of the villains from the front by the head, as she flies him up in the air, as she drops him, as she starts immediately throwing starbolt after starbolt, as it hits the villain, as he's hitting the as he's about to hit the ground hard, as Mirko jumps up, grabs the villain, saves him from dying, as she knocks him out. Several of the island drones, as their hands shoot out as some sort of wire wrapped around Starfire's arm, as she looks down onto the robot, as she looks visibly upset, as she immediately dives down, as there's a large crash, as Mirko sees the robot shattered in little pieces. Mirko thinks she's some sort of villain, as she goes to kick As Starfire lands on the ground, as Mirko goes to kick her, as Starfire catches, well, as Mirko lands a hit, as Starfire just looks at Mirko, as she backhands her, as she goes flying into a building, as she flies up in the air, as she's looking around this island that she crashes on, as she immediately heard gunfire, as she bursts through one of the bigger buildings. That's where David and Melissa are being kept by the villains. You have David's shield and Melissa, as Melissa's being held as a gun to her head. As she's about, let's say she's about 16. As immediately the door to the building starts to, well, as it flies open, about to hit one of the villains, as the villain ducks, as the door gets stuck in the middle of the wall. As everyone sees a red-haired girl floating in the sky, or just floating above the ground. Girl, I don't know who you are, or what type of boss. That has to be a hero. Don't recognize that hero. No matter. Gun her down. Starfire is trying to communicate with these people, as they can't understand a word she's saying. As Starfire sighs, as she immediately appeared in front of the villain with holding Melissa, grabbed his gun, and crushed it, as she grabs him by the neck, as she tosses him as he goes into a wall, as several villains try to rush Starfire behind, as she blasts them with star bolts without even looking at them. As she grabs, Melissa by the chin, as she immediately grabs her by the waist and kisses her. As Starfire has a grin on her face after she broke the kiss, as Melissa is beet red, as she, touches her lips, as all David can hear from her daughter, that was my first kiss. As, she kind of drops to her knees in embarrassment. I know who you are, bitch, but you're gonna die for that. As the villain gets up, I don't know what that means, but it doesn't sound pleasant. I'm gonna hurt you. Dare insult a princess? I think it's about time you know your place. Burst of green energy emitting from her hand, as she immediately throws a starbolt, about very powerful, as half of the building, well, the part of the building where the villains are, as the starbolt went pretty much destroyed that part of the building, as Mirko saw a wave of green energy destroying the building from the inside. Much better. Melissa's staring at Starfire. Ah, where am I? What planet am I on? What sector is this, my dear? You kissed me. That I did. I couldn't understand you otherwise. I could have, done it by the cheek, but I prefer it that way. Both villains start getting up. She didn't kill anyone yet, luckily, for the heroes. Excuse me, love. I'm gonna handle these rude people. Whatever species you are. One of them has a strength quirk, as immediately he's trying to attack Starfire, as Starfire is just slapping his hand away like it was nothing, as she grabs him by the throat, lifts him up in the air, as she charges her starbolt into a fist, as the green energy is emitted in from her hand. Know your place. As she socks him, as he goes strictly into the ground, as there's an imprint from the impact. Puts her foot on the man's head, side of his head, as she's about to blast him, point blank range in the face. As Mirko jumps forward, as she sees the Starfire about to blast the villain to death. That's quite enough, young lady. And she looks at Mirko. Oh, you. Why should I? I'm a princess. They dare challenge me? And they were very unkind. Why shouldn't I blast them? That's not how things done. You're breaking the law. What law? I'm a princess. Your whatever law you have on this backwards planet doesn't apply to me. This is your name. You could call me Star. Starfire, but I prefer Star. Please, they are defeated. Why would you stop me? They seem like bad people. That may be true, but that's not how things done here. Where did you come from? She points to the sky. Tamaranean, of course. Well, if it's still there. Unfortunately, my sister has destroyed my people. She most likely died by now. Good riddance. As she looks at Melissa as she looks scared. Damn it. As she closes her fist as the energy stops. Consider yourself lucky. As she kicks him in the face, knocking him out. Mirko, what type of cork do you have? Cork? What's a cork? You're really not making no sense, lady. You're really not making no sense, white hair lady. I have what you call a cork. Don't understand what that is. I'm a Tamaranean. What planet am I on? You're on Earth. Earth? Never heard of it. No matter. As Starfire is about to float away, as Melissa grabs her hand. Wait. Thank you for saving me. Starfire floats back down as Melissa's twitching her fingers together. And why did you kiss me? Oh, because I couldn't understand you otherwise. I mean, like I said, I could have kissed you on the cheek, but I prefer lip to lip contact. It amuses me. And your reaction was precious. It's like remarkable. Young lady, are you a. Yeah, if you're going to call me an alien, yeah, that's pretty much what I am. Well, because considering to you all, to me, you're all aliens. But that's only a matter of opinion. Why are you here? My planet was unstable and most likely explode by now. I was traveling through space and after I was abducted and experimented on, I eradicate them for their transaction, but that doesn't matter. And my ship is no longer my craft. My spacecraft is no longer functional. I'm trapped here apparently. I really don't have anywhere to go. Thank you for saving my daughter. No problem. I find her quite attractive, so I would not allow such a pretty girl like that to be hurt in any way. It would be. Starfire helps Melissa up as she looks at Melissa. We're going to be such great friends. As she, hugs Melissa. As, she's a bit going red again as. You said your name was Star, right? That it is. You're pretty strong. Maybe some. It's a shame we couldn't spar properly. That was a kind of a cheap shot you gave me last time you hit me. Nevertheless, I need you to stand down and answer some questions. Nope, I don't feel like it. Excuse me? You heard me, white-haired lady. No. The Starfire ignites her starbolt in her hand as she's getting ready to attack Mirko. As Melissa, please. Very well. I will allow you to ask questions. David. Sorry, as David direct Star to a empty room. As Mirko called Nezu and All Might and a couple other heroes to Island as they need to keep this hush hush, but they need to figure out what to do with Star because they don't know, like, they've never came across an alien that landed on the planet. It's just something new territory for them. As David asked if she could take some of her blood, she was fine with it. As after Melissa said it's all right. My father's not going to hurt you, Star. Very well, Melissa. I will allow it, only because you're asking. Because you're my new friend. Never had a friend before, so I like this. You have Star as she's in one of the rooms with Melissa as All Might finally showed up with Nezu as they go through what's going on as he showed Nezu that this young lady is not human in any way. She might look humanoid, but yeah, she's totally foreign to them. He can't even comprehend the DNA structure of this girl. After examining her spacecraft, yeah, the technology is way above of Earth by several generations. It's quite advanced. Mirko steps into the room as she has a couple of drinks. As she places a weird liquid that Star never seen a liquid this color before. What is this? Oh yeah, this is called juice. You certain you didn't poison this? Of course not. I'm a hero. We don't do that sort of thing. Hero, what is that? As Nezu steps through. Hello, young lady. I am Mr. Nezu. Ooh, Fluffy. As she immediately, grabbed onto Nezu. As Nezu's like, or as rubbing her cheek on Nezu's cheek, as Nezu's, getting, well, everyone's freaking out. Please, can you let me go, miss? Of course, Mr. Nezu. Fluffy, adorable. So, what do you want? Let me explain a couple things how this planet works. As she goes through the hero organization and the laws in place. Huh. So you don't kill your enemies? That's not logical. Why would you just execute them? If they're going to cause, further problem, you should execute them on the spot. That's not how things work. We like to give criminals a chance to redeem themselves. Leave now. I want to explore. I don't like being cooped up in a building. David, was observing the whole interaction. Melissa, dear, why don't you take your new friend here and show her around the island? Starfire has a bright smile. Ooh, sounds fun. Come, Melissa. As she grabs onto Melissa as she said, can't we walk? Please, I don't like the heights. My apologies. Melissa? Come. Show me around your island. as you call it. So, what are we going to do, Sir Nezu? As All Might, is trying to get what Nezu's plan in this. We can't simply let the girl at her own devices. She needs to be looked after. As Mirko, I'll do it. As everyone's shocked. Are you sure you're not the caring type? I like the girl. Little, little flirt, but she's strong. She'd be a perfect training, sparring partner. The girl's strength surpasses mine. It might even surpass All Might over here. As All Might, I highly doubt that. Trust me, All Might. You haven't felt the, you haven't felt her strength, and I could tell that when she did hit me, she was holding back. Understand, if you take her in, we're going to have to fake some documents, and she'll be considered your daughter. Mm. Okay, I'm fine with that. I whispers to Nezu. Nezu, what are you doing? Trust me, All Might. Maybe this will maybe this will temper her a little bit. You know, the last time she was in her doing her hero work, she pretty much destroyed half a block. I, I'll I'll follow your lead, Nezu. I still don't like it. Relax, All Might. The girl doesn't seem like a threat at at this current time, and you need someone strong to reel her in. You know, Mirko is no weakling. Fine, Nezu. I will not interfere in this, but I still don't like it. No, if what she's been saying is true or not. But the data doesn't lie, All Might. David, the girl's not human. The DNA matches. And her ship is and was in pretty bad condition. I'm surprised she even made it to our planet. Starfire is walking with Melissa around Island. As she sees a little boy, he's crying, and his balloon, starts to float, and he starts to fly in the sky as Starfire flies up, grabs the balloon as she lands, as she hands the balloon over to the young boy. As she pats him on the head. Now, little one, keep a hold on that. You don't want to lose it again. As the mother, thank you. No problem. Now, Melissa, what were you saying? Like I was saying, Star, quirks are pretty much like special abilities. Like that green energy you're able to produce. Huh, interesting. Do you have one of these quirks? No, unfortunately, I was born quirkless. People here don't really look at people with people that don't have quirks very highly. Why would they? I understand. You do? Yeah, I do. My sister wasn't able to fly, and unfortunately, my mother and my father and the rest of my people looked down on her like a freak. I love my sister with everything in my heart. Sadly, because how she was treated, it she had nothing but hatred in her heart. I tried many times to talk her down, but sister was yeah, my sister's very aggressive. I'm saddened that she's most likely dead. With my people and my parents. Starfire has a sad face. Melissa sees the sad look on her face. Sorry if I brought something up painful. It's alright, Melissa. I've had time to to cope with the situation. As Star and Melissa go back to the main building as Nezu and Mirko is waiting. As Miss Star, yes? Miss Mirko over here is going to be looking after you. Think of it as a adopted family. Very well, I'll obey your rules for now. I'm a princess, so I must act accordingly. Your name's Mirko. Yes, it is. Star, please follow me. We're going to head back to my house. We have to take a plane, though. No, she picks up Mirko. What you doing? We're flying. I'm not taking one of those planes you mentioned. Why would I? I could fly myself. I could fly you there myself. As Star blasts off, as she waves bye to Melissa. I'll visit again. I'll visit again. Be sure of that, Melissa. As Starfire blasts off, as Miracle lands finally, as her hair is all like over the place. Don't do that again. As as Starfire, starts laughing. It's not funny, Star. It is. You people, whatever species you are, don't like flying, do you? Melissa had the same look in her eye. We don't. Not saying we. There's some of us that do fly, but we normally take planes. Yeah, not happening. Definitely gonna have to get you new clothes. What's wrong with my attire? Let's say it's not appropriate for the general population. Fine. Well, I'm actually curious about what is your species again? We are called Earthlings, humans. Very well. I'm curious what type of fashion you Earthlings have. As Mirko, takes her shopping to get a few clothes, a few outfits. As they finally get to Mirko's, house. As that's where we're going to leave it off. Hope you guys have a good night and day, judging my time zones. Alright, catch you in the next video.